Chapter 13. My sister sends me an email. From Mary. Sent Thursday, November 16th, 2006, 4:41 p.m. To Junior. Subject, hi. Dear Junior, I love it here in Montana. It's beautiful. Yesterday, I rode a horse for the first time. Indians still ride horses in Montana. I'm still looking for a job. I've sent applications to all the restaurants on the reservation. Yep, the Flathead Res has about 20 restaurants. It's weird. They have 6 or 7 towns, too. Can you believe that? That's a lot of towns for one res. And you know what's really weird? Some of the towns on the res are filled with white people. I don't know how that happened, but the people who live in those white towns don't always like Indians much. One of those towns, called Polson, tried to secede. That means quit. I looked it up. From the res. Really, it was like the Civil War. Even though the town is in the middle of the res, the white folks in that town decided they didn't want to be a part of the res. Crazy. But most of the people here are nice. The whites and Indians. And you know the best part? There's this really great hotel where hubby and I had our honeymoon. It's on Flathead Lake, and we had a suite, a hotel room with its own separate bedroom, and there was a phone in the bathroom. Really, I could have called you from the bathroom, but that's not even the most crazy part. We decided to order room service to have the food delivered to our room, and guess what they had on the menu? Indian fry bread. Yep, for $5 you could get fry bread. Crazy. So I ordered up 2 pieces. I didn't think it would be any good, especially not as good at Grandma's. But let me tell you, it was great, almost as good as Grandma's. And they had the fry bread on this fancy plate, and so I ate it with this fancy fork and knife. And I just kept imagining there was some flathead Indian grandma in the kitchen, just making fry bread for all the room service people. It was a dream come true. I love my life. I love my husband. I love Montana. I love you. Your sis, Mary. Chapter 14. Thanksgiving. It was a snowless Thanksgiving. We had a turkey, and Mom cooked it perfectly. We also had mashed potatoes, gravy, green beans, corn, cranberry sauce, and pumpkin pie. It was a feast. I always think it's funny when Indians celebrate Thanksgiving. I mean, sure, the Indians and Pilgrims were best friends during the first Thanksgiving, but a few years later, the Pilgrims were shooting Indians. So I'm never quite sure why we eat turkey like everybody else. Hey, Dad, I said, what do Indians have to be so thankful for? We should give thanks that they didn't kill all of us. We laughed like crazy. It was a good day. Dad was sober. Mom was getting ready to nap. Grandma was already napping. But I missed Rowdy. I kept looking at the door. For the last 10 years, he'd always come over to the house to have a pumpkin pie eating contest with me. I missed him. So I drew a cartoon of Rowdy and me like we used to be. Then I put on my coat and shoes, walked over to Rowdy's house, and knocked on the door. Rowdy's dad, drunk as usual, opened the door. Junior, he said, what do you want? Is Rowdy home? Nope. Oh, well, I drew this for him. Can you give it to him? Rowdy's dad took the cartoon and stared at it for a while. Then he smirked. You're kind of gay, aren't you? He asked. Yep, that was the guy who was raising Rowdy. Jesus, no wonder my best friend was always so angry. Can you just give it to him? I asked. Yeah, I'll give it to him, even if it's a little gay. I wanted to cuss at him. I wanted to tell him that I thought I was being courageous, and that I was trying to fix my broken friendship with Rowdy, and that I missed him. And if that was gay, then okay, I was the gayest dude in the world, but I didn't say any of that. Okay, thank you, I said instead, and happy Thanksgiving. Rowdy's dad closed the door on me. I walked away, but I stopped at the end of the driveway and looked back. I could see Rowdy in the window of his upstairs bedroom. He was holding my cartoon. He was watching me walk away, and I could see the sadness in his face. I just knew he missed me too. I waved at him. He gave me the finger. Hey, Rowdy, I shouted. Thanks a lot. He stepped away from the window, and I felt sad for a moment, but then I realized that Rowdy may have flipped me off, but he hadn't torn up my cartoon. As much as he hated me, he probably should have ripped it to pieces. That would have hurt my feelings more than just about anything I can think of. But Rowdy still respected my cartoons, and so maybe he still respected me a little bit.